Most people believe muscle loss after 60 is just an inevitable part of aging, a slow decline we have to accept. And if you ask almost anyone how to fight it, the answer you'll hear is the same: eat more protein. Protein has almost become a cultural mantra for muscle health. But here's what the science is revealing: protein is not the full story. In fact, after a certain age, your body can be eating enough protein and still not be able to build muscle efficiently. The real bottleneck may not be protein at all, it's a mineral, and new research is showing this mineral could be the hidden key to repairing and rebuilding muscle tissue faster, even past the age of 60. Why does this matter? Because muscle is not just about strength or vanity. Muscle is a metabolic organ. It regulates blood sugar, supports balance, protects your bones, fuels your immune system, and even impacts brain function. Studies show that people over 60 who preserve more muscle live longer, stay sharper, and maintain independence far better than those who lose it. So the stakes are high. Keeping muscle isn't just about looking strong, it's about protecting your health span, the quality of the years you live. Now here's the surprising twist. Research from the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition and other leading journals is showing that deficiencies in certain minerals, particularly magnesium, directly impair the body's ability to synthesize protein into muscle. Think about that. You could be eating chicken, fish, and whey shakes every day, but if you're low in this mineral, your muscle building machinery simply won't switch on. In this talk, we'll explore 6 powerful insights from the latest science about this overlooked mineral. You'll learn how it interacts with your brain and nervous system, how it regulates muscle contraction and repair, why deficiencies skyrocket after 60, and most importantly, simple, practical ways to restore your levels so your muscles can finally respond the way they're designed to. So if you've been working hard, eating protein, maybe even exercising, and wondering why progress feels stuck, this may be the missing link. Let's dive in. When most of us think about building muscle, the image that comes to mind is protein, chicken breasts, eggs, protein shakes. And yes, protein provides the raw material, the amino acids your body needs to create new muscle fibers. But here's the surprising truth: protein is just the bricks. What actually builds the house is the construction crew, the enzymes and biochemical pathways that take those bricks and assemble them into something useful. And the foreman directing that crew, that's magnesium. Research shows that magnesium is required for more than 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, many of them directly tied to protein metabolism. One of the most important is its role in activating M2, or the molecular switch that tells your body now is the time to build muscle. Without adequate magnesium, this switch doesn't flip efficiently. No matter how much protein you're consuming, it's like having a truckload of bricks sitting at the construction site, but no workers to move them into place. Have you ever noticed how some people can eat a protein-heavy diet and lift weights, but still struggle to gain strength or muscle tone? One explanation is that their muscle-building machinery isn't fully engaged because they're low in magnesium. In fact, some clinical studies show that correcting magnesium deficiency alone can increase lean body mass even without changing protein intake. Here's another layer. When you're over 60, your muscle cells naturally become less sensitive to the anabolic or muscle-building signals from protein. Scientists call this anabolic resistance. Think of it like a radio that doesn't pick up the signal clearly anymore. Magnesium acts like an amplifier, helping restore that signal, so your body actually hears the message, build new tissue. This is why the mineral is so crucial as we age. It doesn't just support muscle growth, it reactivates the very system that allows protein to do its job. A simple tool you can apply is to think of protein and magnesium as partners. Next time you sit down to a protein-rich meal, ask yourself, where's the magnesium here? Foods like spinach, pumpkin seeds, almonds, and beans provide both fueling, not just the supply of amino acids, but also the switch that puts them to use. The takeaway here is clear protein alone isn't enough. If your body doesn't have the mineral key to unlock muscle synthesis, the doors simply won't open. And that's why magnesium isn't just a supporting player, it's the switch that starts the entire process. If magnesium is the switch for muscle building, then it's also the fuel regulator that powers every contraction you make. Here's why your muscles run on ATP, which stands for adenosine triphosphate. It's the energy currency of your body. Every time you move your arm, climb a step, or even blink, ATP is being spent, But there's a detail most people don't know. ATP is not biologically active unless it's bound to magnesium. In fact, in your cells, energy doesn't exist as plain ATP. It exists as MgATP. That means without enough magnesium, your body literally can't use its energy currency effectively. Imagine carrying around a wallet full of money, but the bills are glued together. You technically have energy, but you can't spend it. This is what happens in your muscles when magnesium runs low. The energy is there, but it's locked up, unavailable for repair, growth, and performance. This is especially critical as we age. Think about how often people over 60 complain of fatigue, weakness, or slow recovery after activity. We often chalk it up to just getting older, but a big piece of the puzzle is that energy utilization inside the muscle is impaired because magnesium stores are depleted. Without that bond between magnesium and ATP, your muscles can't contract with full force and they can't efficiently repair micro tears from exercise. Have you ever noticed how after a workout, some people bounce back quickly while others feel sore and drained for days? Magnesium status can be the difference. When levels are adequate, ATP is released smoothly, muscle fibers repair faster, and soreness fades sooner. When levels are low, energy bottlenecks slow everything down. Here's a practical tool. If you're over 60 and you want to get more from your activity, whether it's weight training, walking, or even gardening, think about magnesium as your energy unlocker. Pair a magnesium-rich snack like a handful of pumpkin seeds or a spinach smoothie before or after activity. This ensures your ATP isn't just present, but actually usable. And by the way, if this insight is resonating with you, if you're starting to see how overlooked magnesium really is, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. We dive deep into science-based tools like this every week, and joining ensures you don't miss strategies that can keep your body and brain thriving. The big message here is this. Energy without magnesium is like fuel without a spark. You might have the gas tank full, but the engine won't run. Magnesium makes ATP active, and active ATP makes muscle possible. Here's where things get even more important. Even if you've eaten well most of your life, after 60, your body's relationship with magnesium changes dramatically, and this is one of the hidden reasons muscle loss accelerates with age. First, absorption declines. The lining of the gut becomes less efficient at pulling minerals from food, so even a magnesium-rich meal doesn't deliver as much into circulation as it would have in your 30s or 40s. Imagine pouring water through an old sponge. At first it soaks up plenty, but over time the sponge hardens and less gets absorbed. That's your digestive tract after 60. Second, medications. Many older adults take prescriptions for blood pressure, heart health, reflux, or diabetes. Common drugs like diuretics, proton pump inhibitors, and even certain antibiotics flush magnesium out of the system or block its absorption. It's not unusual for someone to unknowingly be losing magnesium every single day because of their medication. Third, kidney efficiency declines with age. The kidneys regulate mineral balance, deciding what to keep and what to excrete. After 60, they often become less precise, allowing more magnesium to be lost in urine. That means even if you're eating the right foods, your body may still be leaking out what it needs to maintain muscle function. Add these three factors together: reduced absorption, higher excretion, and medication interference, and you see why magnesium deficiency skyrockets in older adults. Studies consistently find that people over 60 are among the most likely groups to fall below recommended magnesium levels. And when deficiency sets in, the consequences are broad, weaker muscles, slower recovery, more cramps, higher inflammation, and even elevated risk of insulin resistance. Here's something to reflect on. Have you noticed that muscle cramps, twitching, or restless sleep become more common as you age? These are not random annoyances. They are often your body's way of saying, I'm running low on magnesium. A practical step here is awareness. Start by simply asking, am I in a stage of life or taking medications that could be lowering my magnesium without me realizing it? This awareness is the first step to correcting it. The bottom line is this: after 60, magnesium deficiency is not just possible, it's likely, and that means rebuilding muscle after this age isn't just about diet and exercise, it's about closing the hidden gap that aging itself creates. To truly understand muscle health, we need to look at balance. Every muscle contraction in your body depends on two minerals working in harmony: calcium and magnesium. Calcium is the accelerator. It signals muscle fibers to contract, to tighten, to generate force. Magnesium is the brake. It helps those same fibers relax, release tension, and reset for the next contraction. Think about driving a car with only an accelerator and no brakes. That's what happens inside your muscles when magnesium is low. Calcium keeps sending the signal to contract, but there's nothing to bring relaxation. The result, stiffness, cramps, twitching, and sometimes even restless legs at night. This imbalance doesn't just make you uncomfortable, it disrupts recovery. Muscles don't grow when they're contracting, they grow when they're resting, repairing, and rebuilding, and that repair process depends on magnesium. Without it, the tissue can't fully relax, which means it can't fully heal. It's like trying to patch up a road while cars are still driving over it. Here's a real-world example. Many older adults complain of leg cramps that wake them up at night. They often try to stretch, drink more water, or add potassium, but the cramps persist. What's happening is that calcium has the gas pedal stuck down, while magnesium is too low to hit the brakes. Restoring that balance can often stop the cramps, improve sleep, and create a deeper environment for muscle recovery overnight. A simple tool to apply here is to pair calcium-rich foods or supplements with magnesium sources. If you're drinking milk or eating yogurt, balance it with spinach, beans, or nuts. If you're taking a calcium supplement, consider whether you're also supporting magnesium intake. Remember, muscle health is not about loading up on one mineral, but about the dance between the two. And while we're here, if you're finding these insights helpful, I encourage you to subscribe and stay connected. We share strategies like this every week that can help you take control of your health with real science, not guesswork. The takeaway here is simple but powerful. Magnesium is your muscle's brake system. Without it, you're stuck in contraction mode, which damages recovery, disrupts sleep, and accelerates fatigue. Balance calcium and magnesium, and you give your muscles the chance to heal, grow, and stay strong. Up to this point, we've been talking about magnesium's role inside the muscle itself. But here's a deeper truth. Your muscles don't operate in isolation. Every contraction, every movement, every repair is driven by communication between your brain, your nerves, and your muscle fibers. And magnesium is at the center of that communication. Your nervous system is like an electrical grid. Neurons fire signals telling muscles when to contract and when to relax. But just like any electrical system, if the wires are overloaded, sparks can fly. Low magnesium makes the nervous system overexcitable. The signals fire too often, too intensely, and without enough control. That's why deficiency often shows up as twitching eyelids, shaky hands, or restless legs. It's not just a muscle problem, it's a nerve problem. Now here's the empowering part. When magnesium levels are adequate, it calms this overactivity. It works as a natural regulator at the synapse, the gap where nerves and muscles communicate. Think of it as the volume knob on a stereo. Without magnesium, the sound is too loud, distorted, and chaotic. With magnesium, the volume is balanced, clear, precise, and in rhythm. That precision is what allows for smooth, controlled muscle performance. But magnesium's role doesn't stop there. It also lowers stress hormones like cortisol, which are notorious for breaking down muscle tissue. At the same time, it supports the release of neurotransmitters that promote relaxation and sleep. And as anyone who trains knows, whether it's a walk, yoga, or lifting weights, deep recovery only happens when you sleep well. So magnesium is not just helping you lift or move, it's helping you recover, rebuild, and come back stronger the next day. Here's something practical to try. Notice how your muscles feel on days after poor sleep versus days after restful sleep. Most people find their strength, balance, and even mood drop when sleep is shallow. Magnesium is one of the tools that improves sleep quality by calming the nervous system. A simple evening routine with magnesium-rich foods like leafy greens at dinner or pumpkin seeds as a snack can support both the brain and the muscles as you head into rest. The key insight here is this: muscle strength isn't just physical, it's neurological. And magnesium is the mineral that keeps the mind-muscle connection stable, balanced, and efficient. Support your nervous system, and you support your muscles at the same time. Now that we've seen how magnesium drives muscle synthesis, energy, balance, and even the nervous system, the natural question is, how do you actually restore it? This is where science meets daily practice. First, food. The richest natural sources of magnesium come from plants. Dark leafy greens like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard are excellent. Seeds, especially pumpkin, sunflower, and chia, are among the highest density sources you can add to your diet. Almonds, cashews, and beans also provide steady amounts. Think of magnesium-rich foods as the silent partners to your protein. If you're eating chicken, fish, or eggs, balance that plate with greens, nuts, or legumes to activate the muscle-building switch. Second, timing. Magnesium isn't stored in large reserves in the body. You need a steady daily intake. Many people find that consuming magnesium-rich foods or supplements in the evening supports better sleep, reduced cramps, and deeper muscle recovery. Others prefer splitting doses, some earlier in the day for energy production and some at night for relaxation. What matters most is consistency. Third, supplementation. While whole foods should be the foundation, studies show that many adults over 60 cannot reach optimal levels through food alone, especially if absorption is impaired or medications are interfering. In that case, a high-quality magnesium supplement can help. Different forms serve different purposes. Magnesium glycinate is gentle on the stomach and great for sleep. Magnesium citrate can help digestion. Magnesium malate supports energy. The key is to find a form your body tolerates and use it steadily rather than sporadically. Here's a simple framework. Aim to combine diet and, if needed, supplementation. For example, a spinach and bean salad at lunch, a handful of pumpkin seeds in the afternoon, and a small dose of magnesium glycinate in the evening. That way you're supporting energy during the day and repair at night. One last point. Hydration. Magnesium works best when your body has enough fluid and electrolytes. Think of it like an orchestra. Magnesium is the conductor, but the rest of the minerals like potassium and sodium are the instruments. If the system is dehydrated, the music falls apart. So keep hydration in mind as part of your magnesium protocol. And if you're finding this conversation valuable, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. It's the best way to stay connected to practical, science-based tools that can help you protect your strength, your health, and your independence as you age. The takeaway here is simple. Magnesium is not just a nutrient, it's a protocol. Food, timing, supplementation, hydration, each piece matters. And when you put them together, you create the conditions for muscle to grow, energy to flow, and recovery to happen naturally. We've taken a deep dive into the science of magnesium, and by now you can see why calling it just another mineral doesn't do it justice. It is the switch that activates protein synthesis, the fuel regulator that makes ATP usable, the balancing brake to calcium's accelerator, the calm behind your nervous system, and the nutritional key that unlocks recovery and strength after 60. Let's quickly recap the 6 insights we explored. Protein alone isn't enough. Magnesium is the switch that allows those amino acids to be transformed into new muscle tissue. ATP, the body's energy currency, is only active when bound to magnesium. Without it, your muscles can't contract or repair efficiently. After 60, absorption drops, medications interfere, and kidneys leak magnesium, making deficiency not only common but likely. Calcium without magnesium keeps muscles locked in contraction. Magnesium restores the balance, allowing relaxation, repair, and recovery. The nervous system relies on magnesium to calm overactive signals, lower stress hormones, and deepen sleep, all essential for muscle health. Practical strategies include magnesium-rich foods, thoughtful timing, supplementation when necessary, and proper hydration. Now, why does this matter? Because muscle isn't just about strength. It's your metabolic engine, your balance system, your blood sugar regulator, and even your ally in protecting the brain. Every year after 60, the ability to hold on to muscle can mean the difference between independence and frailty, between energy and exhaustion, between living fully and simply enduring. The empowering news is this: you are not powerless in this process. You don't have to watch muscle disappear and assume it's just aging. By addressing something as overlooked as magnesium, you can flip the biological switches that keep your body responsive, strong, and alive with energy. So here's my challenge for you today before the day ends. Add 1 magnesium-rich food to your plate. Maybe it's a handful of pumpkin seeds, a serving of spinach, or a side of beans. If you already take in protein, start thinking in pairs. protein plus magnesium, that simple shift in mindset can change how your meals support your muscles. And tonight, as you prepare for rest, ask yourself, am I giving my muscles the minerals they need to truly recover? That reflection can be the first step toward better sleep, stronger mornings, and a healthier future. If this message resonated with you, I'd love for you to be part of this community. Subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Not because numbers matter, but because community matters. Every time you engage, you help build a circle of people committed to staying strong, sharp, and independent as the years go by. Remember, after 60, the rules of the body shift. Protein is important, yes, but without magnesium, the story is incomplete. Support your body with the right balance, and it will repay you with energy, resilience, and vitality. Stay strong, stay curious, and keep giving your body the tools it needs to thrive.